Grand Rising greetings, y'all. So today's topic is them deflecting is not necessarily rejecting. So don't get me wrong. Oh wait, hopefully you guys are doing well. Today's a beautiful day. The sun is shining, the clouds are out strategically. And it's a beautiful day outside today. So hopefully you ground yourself, you do what you gotta do, and soak in the sun and recharge, whatever that might look like for you. Okay, that being said, hopefully, them deflecting initially does not necessarily mean that they are rejecting. So, when you talk to somebody and you're waking up and you want someone to relate to you so bad, and you want to spread the knowledge that you just learned or had an epiphany about, or just lots of things are just starting to connect for you, and you want to just spread this knowledge and not really thinking if they're going to reject it. You're just so caught up on this high, and you tell maybe your mom or someone close to you, or maybe a friend, and they're like, what are you talking about? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, you don't know what you're talking about, this and that and that. And when they say that should never affect you. Me personally, for my personal story, I told my mom certain things and she just did not understand where I was coming from. And she was like, what are you talking about? You young, you don't know what you're talking about, this and that, whoop-de-whoop, deflecting everything that I said. And I was just on this high. And it kind of brought me down, I'm not gonna lie, because when you spread your knowledge to somebody that you care about, you're spreading this because you care and that you want to enlighten them too, like how you were enlightened in that moment and had that epiphany. But sometimes people aren't ready to hear your message, and they aren't awake enough to come to the realization, or even be open-minded enough to realize what you're talking about, what perspective you're coming from, and have that, I guess, program to be able to digest your message. Because people definitely back in the day just operating on ego, and they think there's only one way to succeed, and if it's not their way, then they probably think it's not going to work. If it's not 100% guaranteed, they're not going to do it. That's why they think college is the only way. But in today's age, it's not. It's really not. There's a lot of people that are waking up. However, when you try to spread this knowledge to majority of people that are millennials or even older in age is just a number, they kind of deflect that message and be like, you don't know what you're talking about, you're young, you're still learning, whoop-de-whoop-whoop-whoop. And back to my personal story, it kind of took a toll on me, because I'm like, dang, like, I really believe what I'm saying, and the fact that you don't understand what I'm saying, and also kind of not supporting what I'm saying, like, not at all, not at all, it's just like, it kind of hurts, because they're close to you and you care, and you really want them to digest the message that you learned and the enlightenment that you learned about a specific thing. But I get it from their perspective, but I wish they got it from my perspective as well and had a better response. But when people, deflect what you're saying, it makes you seem like you're crazy, but you're not, or you don't know what you're talking about. If you believe what you were talking about and your intuition's like, yes, girl, yes, stick with that. That knowledge is true. But then you check with yourself and make sure, like, you believe this, and if there's just some type of signal internally or even externally or even both, then don't let no one tell you otherwise. You are not crazy, bro. But yeah, when they hear this message, deep down, they definitely hear you in their soul, in their highest consciousness that is locked away internally. However, that initial response that they give you, like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, this and that is their ego, and that is something that is holding them back from being their highest self, which is so sad. Because it's like, you see these things within this person and they have this potential because you did the work, and you can see certain things from certain perspectives because you program your brain this way, because you worked on yourself And it just sucks because when people are close to you can't really see the things that you see, it's just like, dang. It's kind of sad, but I mean, everything happens for a reason, and it's just like you can't really help that. And you can't really force your message on anybody. And when they're able to receive that message in a way they could potentially digest that, then it's just like, okay, that's cool. But if they deflect and be like, you don't know what you're talking about, they hear you deep down. It's just that ego is just so consumed, or so consumed within, then it's just like they don't understand, and their ego is just blocking that enlightenment to them being able to go along or even take a step down that path to become their highest self and to be enlightened and to be open-minded. Because people are very close-minded. When people are close-minded, their ego tends to take over their responses, the way they are able to control themselves and how they react to certain situations. So it's just like, dang. So if they operate out of ego, then shoot, they're lost. I'm not gonna lie, they're not their highest self. They have submitted to something that they have accepted, knowing that daggone well deep inside they can change that if they really wanted to, but that's their choice, and that is out of my control, out of our control. Okay, so when they deflect, that doesn't mean necessarily that they don't hear you. They might seem like they reject it at the moment, but deep down they hear you, and they need to hear this message or anything that you wanted to expose to them or make them aware of. So I would say, for instance, my mom, at first she was like, you don't know what you're talking about, this and that, and like the more she like sees me grow as an individual and everything, she starts to believe me, and she's becoming more open-minded slowly but surely, which is really cool to see and see the process as well. Especially even both of my parents, or even my whole family, especially when I went through this process, they were like really, not rejecting it necessarily, but initially it felt like that based on their response. However, it felt more so like they heard me because I am their child and they care, which is that aspect of things. But yeah, initially they were just like, what is she talking about, this and that. But more so they're just like, okay, maybe let me see what she's talking about, let me try certain things that she's recommending, let me see. Because when you're younger, they're gonna be like, bro, you don't know what you're talking about, I already said that. But when they really take the time to realize, like, oh, this stuff really works, they'll hear me out even more. So that's really cool. But yeah, this goes to say, don't force your message on anybody. However, if they deflect, that doesn't mean necessarily they are rejecting. They hear you deep down. They hear you. Regardless if it's someone that's close to you, regardless if it's somebody that's not close to you, it's a stranger, or it's a sign where they just want you to tell this person because they need to hear it. Even though they might deflect it a little bit, does not mean they're rejecting it. Something deep down hears them. So if your intuition tells you to tell somebody something and this guy is looking at me in the corner, then shoot, do it, no matter the response, okay? And don't let the response affect you, because we don't care what people think, and that's the motto. So hopefully you guys are having a great day. Don't let words affect you and responses affect you. The thing that you can control is yourself. Remember that, and keep ascending, keep doing what you got to do, and let's keep going up. Have a nice day, guys. I'll see you later. You'll see me later. I keep saying that. And keep ascending. Best wishes. You can manifest anything you want. And keep believing in yourself. Okay. Bye.